Howdy everyone, this is Jesse Tampa on a fairly brisk February evening here in Ruskin, Florida. Now normally I'm not keen on being too serious of a fellow, but in regards to this topic that I'm going to be speaking on currently, there's nothing to joke about. It's a serious topic. I would appreciate it if you respect the things that I have to share during the duration of this video. No comedy, just real live action drama. Now you see, the month of February is bittersweet. It's sweet because my birthday occurs this month, Valentine's Day occurs this month, it's Black History Month. There's a lot of cool things about February. And up until last year, nobody really had any issues with February. But here's the reason why it's bitter. You see, folks, last year on February 16th, early morning, around 5:30 or 6, I received some of the worst news in my entire life that I've ever gotten from anyone. Our entire family was rocked to the core at its foundation. The heart of our family, my grandmother, Rosalia Sanchez, passed away. My auntie, my tia Sofia, she was at the hospital with my grandmother, and she was the one that had to bear the bad news to the entire family. Many of us became hysterical. A lot of us became emotional. See, I knew my grandmother for 23 years, my entire life, up until that point. And on February 16th, she went off to be with the good Lord. I believe that is where she currently is at. I'm not a religious man, but I believe in God and I am spiritual. I think she's in heaven with my little cousin, Adrian Sanchez Jr. May both of them rest in peace. I just wanted y'all to take some time out of y'all's lives to realize how precious a gift life is. We should never take it for granted, because at any given moment life can end. No one was expecting for my grandmother to pass away on February 16th, early in the morning. But just because we weren't expecting it, that didn't mean that it wasn't a possibility. And we came later on to find out that it was an occurrence, sadly, that had to happen one day, but it happened that day. Now, many people have coped with the loss in their own ways, through prayer, going to church, living life to the fullest, I suppose, you know, as long as they're doing positive things and not breaking the law or doing anything illegal, then more power to them. But we lost a great family member. My grandmother was a strong woman. She raised 6 beautiful children, 3 sons and 3 daughters. That gives me 3 uncles and 2 aunties. Obviously the other daughter is my mother, Adrian Sanchez. My grandmother came to this country in search of a better life. Not only for her children, but for her and for her children's children, for the next generation, for me, and for my brothers and my sisters and my cousins. The reason we're here is because of migration. They migrated all over this great country, and wherever work went, that's wherever they went. Before our family settled down in the Ruskin area of Hillsborough County in Florida and in the Waimama area, they were migrants and farm workers, and they would go from place to place, state to state, city to city, town to town. Wherever the work was, that's where they would go. And they would make their life there until there was no more work there, and the season would change. Then they would go to the next place, and so on and so forth, until they decided to finally settle down in this area of the country. I just wanted y'all to know that Rosalia Sanchez, her memory will never die. Her legacy will live on through us. And we're going to pay respects to her on February 16th, 2012, this year. We're going to have a mass. We're going to pray. Our family is going to gather together at Ruskin Memorial Park. And we're going to reflect 1 year later. Some of us are stronger than others and are able to keep our composure. Some of us will get emotional and break down and cry. I will not cry, because I believe that my grandmother's soul, her spirit, is in another place, a better place, a place where there is no suffering, a place where there is no sickness, a place where the streets are made of gold. I believe she's in heaven. She accepted Jesus Christ as her Savior, and there's no doubt in my mind that once I pass, I'll see her again someday. She is no longer with us here on this earth in the flesh, but as I stated before, her memory and her legacy that she built will live on. Sanchez, gone but not forgotten. And that's the way it's going to be. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. And I would appreciate any positive feedback from anyone out there. And I also want to tell you that I feel for you when you lose a family member, because I've been through that twice now. And I've also lost many of my friends. It's a difficult thing, but it's a part of life. Dying, I believe, is the last part of life. And until we die, we haven't truly finished living. So here's to everyone out there right now who's currently breathing this air and enjoying their time on this earth. All I can say is that we were truly blessed to have such a strong woman in our lives, to have such a strong influence. She gave so many of us so much guidance, and she gave and she gave and she gave, and she asked for nothing in return. All she wanted is for her children and for her children's children to behave themselves and to be good, productive members of society, and to not be out there doing destructive things, to be doing constructive things with our lives, and to be doing positive things with our lives. And she is looking down on us from heaven, I'm sure, with a smile on her face and with pride in her heart, knowing that her life meant something, and that what she left behind is still down here. We're still moving on in our lives. And we're making the most out of it. We're not taking our lives for granted. I appreciate the hell out of my life. I mean, I'm always documenting crazy things going on, but when I'm not at those nightclubs or when I'm not out in the town or whatever, I'll be working out, listening to country music, hanging out with my friends, just kicking back and enjoying living, enjoying being alive, taking time to smell the fresh air, taking time to look at the pretty flowers, you know, and look at the beautiful blue sky or the ocean or the birds, the bees, and, you know, the palm trees, because of where I'm at. Alright, so I'd like to say God bless all of y'all, and thank you for watching this video. Good night.